good morning, and happy Sunday to you. I am on my last day at the retreat center where I am at for our church leadership academy. And this is our last meeting together. We've met together 5 times this year to talk about becoming leaders in the church. It has been an amazing experience. I have loved meeting all the people here. It's been a lot of fun to get to know them and their stories. And we've had, probably about a dozen different speakers that have come and talked to us and shared with us on being a leader. And it's been just amazing. Such a great opportunity for me. Good morning, April. How are you? So I'm here still at the Olmsted Manor up in Ludlow, PA. It's northern part of Pennsylvania on the western part of the state, and I'll be heading home today after lunch. So I am early because at 9 o'clock we start our next session. So in 15 minutes I'll be starting the next session before we leave. Good morning, Dawn. How are you? So today. Well, first of all, let me show you yesterday's devotional. So yesterday was our Ezra 3:11, and we were talking about rejoicing, how the people rejoiced before the temple was even finished, and how they thanked God for everything that was going on building the temple. So there they are rejoicing with their arms in the air, and boy, that's a terrible picture, but it doesn't matter, right? The important part is the writing, and I keep trying to stress that to you guys, that the parts that are the pictures, the things like that, that's not what's important. The important part is writing what is in your heart, or writing down the scripture and praying while you're writing it down, or thinking about what it means to you. There are many of you that have been just posting the words, the scripture words, and that is fantastic. Do not feel that you need to do anything more than that. The best part is being in the Word and writing the scripture and, thinking about what that part of scripture means to you. So speaking of that, today's scripture is Psalm 116:17. Psalm 116:17. And it says, I will sacrifice a thank offering to you and call on the name of the Lord. So in this scripture, David is thanking God for delivering him and rescuing him after he had sinned. Now, I tried to find what sin they're talking about. Are they talking about the sin with Bathsheba, and having her husband killed, or something else? But nobody is saying, they couldn't pinpoint the exact date that this was happening. So I'm not sure what sin they're talking about. But anyway, David had sinned. So even though he was weak, he was depressed, his body was sick with guilt, and he was grief-stricken, he shares that the Lord stuck by him. He always will. God will always be right there. No matter if the ship is sinking and going down, God doesn't retreat when the enemy is increasing in strength. He still is right there with you. So being thankful is easy whenever things are going well, right? You can usually think of quite a few things to thank God for when the weather is beautiful, or when you're happy and the sun is shining down on you. It's so easy to thank God and to smile. But when those storms start hitting all around us, it gets a little harder to be thankful. It's even harder to thank him when he is disciplining us for something we've done wrong, right? If we've tried to run and hide and hope that God didn't see what we did wrong, first of all, we know that's impossible, but we still try to pretend that God doesn't know what we're doing. So Jonah had a very similar prayer to the one from today in Jonah 2:9. And we're going to be talking about this later this month. I can't remember for sure what the day is. But Jonah thanked God while he was still in the belly of the fish. And it was right after that he actually spit Jonah out into the land by Nineveh. So he thanked God while he was still in the belly of the fish. So both David and Jonah and so many other people in the Bible learned lessons the hard way. When they ran, and when we run away from God, it's only going to bring us heartache, right? It's going to bring a disaster. Things are not going to go the way we want them to. So we need to just fess up, admit what we've done wrong, and move on. When we think about how God has worked in your life, when you think about how many instances have changed in your life because you've included God into it, have you thanked God for that? I hope so. I hope so. But have you also thanked him for, the good times and the bad? It doesn't matter whether they were good times or bad. I really hope so. It is hard when you're thanking him for the bad times in your life, but it's also necessary. It's an important part of our walk with God. So I hope that you remember that, and you remember to thank God in all situations in your life, the good and the bad, because God is with you no matter what, and you're not hiding anything from him. So just remember that. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, whether you are heading to church, whether you are spending time with family, with friends, whatever you are doing today. I just pray that you feel God with you and that you have a very, very blessed day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.